Should you be able to walk around with booze in downtown Seattle? I missed it during the mayor's revitalization announcement plan earlier this week. Dave Ross did not. In today's commentary, he mentions that one of the mayor's ideas to revitalize downtown is sipping and strolling, making it legal to walk around with booze as you walk between bars or galleries or food trucks, etc. Gee, Scott, what do you think? Is this a great idea? Should Seattle welcome folks to walk around with open containers?
Yeah, how about not? Absolutely not. This is not a good idea. I'll ask a question that I asked yesterday, and I'll ask it again. Right now, do we have the police officers that we used to have? No. Are we having a problem with recruiting and retention for police officers? Yes. Are we having a problem with the uptick in stolen cars around this area? As a matter of fact, we're number 2 or 3 in the country when it comes to stolen cars. And oh, by the way, the cops can't even go after those with the stolen cars. And yet we want to add alcohol? Being able to go out in public with alcohol? Hell no, I don't want that type of living. I don't want no Bourbon Street. No, absolutely not. And yes, I am the no fun police.
You sure are. That's not what they're talking about. And I am perfectly fine with this. I think to equate some of the issues that we are seeing on the streets right now to what they're talking about, which is to invite more people downtown, which would include sip and strolls where they're sipping and not guzzling big bottles of booze, but talking about a glass of wine or two while you visit, whether it's art galleries or shops. The whole idea is to bring people down it's like when you go to an event and, they serve a little bit of alcohol along with the Diet Cokes that I normally get. I mean, it's not going to be a booze fest. That's not the intention. But the idea would be we've got adults who would want to come down for a nice, relaxing evening stroll. And so the mayor's plan, as I see it, is to invite more people downtown and make downtown more inviting. I don't think this is going to add to the problem that we're dealing with.
You ever hear somebody say, every night I like to have a glass of wine with dinner? You ever hear somebody say that?
Yeah, I do. It's not me, but
no,
yeah,
I know.
I've heard
You
that.
don't drink.
I don't drink. Yeah, exactly.
But let me just tell you something. Anybody that tells you that they have, I have a glass of wine every night with dinner, they don't just have a glass of wine. Wine drinkers that say they have a glass of wine every night have damn near a bottle.
Oh, my God. That is a sweeping statement if I've ever heard one. Text us, 888-973-5476.
It's like the relationship rule of 3. Gee, is that what you're saying?
Come on, bruh. Man, y'all. But the beautiful thing, this is what I love about Ursula. No, I'm being serious. Because you always have the light at the end of the tunnel.
I do.
And this is beautiful. And people are going to go downtown and they're just going to sip and walk around and, oh my gosh, that looks great.
Well, they're
that ain't reality.
They're trying this. So
folks lose their damn mind when they've been drinking alcohol. And then they're going to be outside? No, absolutely not. People get ridiculous when they've had too much to drink. Keep it inside, y'all.
That's not what they're doing, and I'm sure the price of these drinks is going to not exactly be conducive to just boozing it up. The idea would be like whether it's I was looking to see if it still exists, the Pioneer Square Art Walk. Apparently it still does, every first Thursday of the month. That's the whole idea, which would be we're trying to get more shoppers downtown and more people wanting to live and work and stroll around downtown.
I just love you for your optimism. And you know what? I'll gladly take this L for Ursula's optimism.
No, I was actually going to be on Ursula's side with this because I was going to bring up the point, G, that you have often brought up how amazing it was to stroll around, with the wristbands downtown in Pioneer Square, and you could go visit any of the clubs, and it was just such a poppin' scene. And imagine what that would be like if people were walking around with solo cups full of booze in their hand. So that's my point for this. However, against it, Ursula, the whole idea of sip and stroll. This is a very classist way of saying that we're allowing open containers in public, right? Because if they're wine drinkers and they're going to art galleries, those are people who are never going to be a problem. However, the fact is, if we're allowing people to do this from bar to bar, you're going to have bar hopping folks who are guzzling on the streets. And when we talk about, hey, people don't like seeing fentanyl use in public, and I do not. I think there's also a lot of people that don't enjoy an open drinking environment. There's a lot of people who are uncomfortable going to Seahawks games because it feels like a booze fest for a lot of folks.
So guess
and if you want that like pre-game atmosphere on the streets of downtown Seattle all the time, by all means, let's sip and stroll.
Are you believing what you're actually saying right now?
Of course I am.
Ursula, again,
Please.
I concede, my friend, because of your optimism. But real quick, before we get off this topic,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what I didn't realize. 3.5 years we've been doing this show. We got some wine drinkers. Look at the text line.
Okay, wait, I haven't been looking.
The text line, we got some wine drinkers.
Okay, and I bet they said you made a sweeping statement, G. Because you said no one stops at one and they're drinking nearly a bottle. That's just not right.
You might want to read the text line. You might want to read the text